Hello, once again, welcome back. This is Cujo Sound, and I'm Bjorn Jacobson, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about game audio in some of the smaller indie games that I made during my education. I'm going to be talking about how the sounds were created and some of the creative workflows and some of the tools created for this. I have two games for you, and this first one here is RaaSool. It's made by Claudia Billestrade. She was the creative director, and a whole team. We were like just I don't know, 15 people put in a room. We had a month to do it. So I went nuts on the sound design. I'll show you. It's a tiny little point and click game. Let's see how it goes. So all these pads and drones and other things, they are made with a bunch of synthesizers, but they're very time-stretched and GRM tools to give them this long, clickety stuff. You can't really tell in this example because I've soaked it in probably what looks like over a year of reverb, but it's actually randomly generated. It's not a file that is playing. It's actually a playlist of about 9 to 10 different variations of these tiny pads, all with really long tails. We then made a tool, actually the one that you can see in my Unity examples, the randomizer there. It would automatically randomize between two variations of these, so it would constantly add one on top of the other. So whenever you play the game, it will never be the same drone that you're listening to. It will constantly be fading in and out of all the examples that we had. It's an easy way. Instead of having a 5-minute drone, you can just have 5 20-second drones, and then have it fade in and out of these, which gives you much more variety and much more. It becomes much more soothing to listen to, and it's way more fun to code as well. So let's proceed here. Like I said, this is a point-and-click adventure, like tiny. We had a month, so it's really short, just 3 levels. You walk around as RaaSool. You can change time by clicking on him, or her, it doesn't matter, it's a genderless character. And what happens when you do so is that you change time. And the point was to be able to do something in the past which would change something in the future, of course, in a very fantasy style way. So let's move a little about the level here. The footsteps here, they are a random controlled container that I made, just similar to the one from my Unity series, where it's just a tiny bit of noise scrambled together. So it's random bits of noise randomized between each other, and then it randomizes between the patterns of the noise, so that these footsteps are basically just filtered white noise when walking around. Now, if we change time, you can see that the universe changes. This is basically just a regular synthesized sound that is just faded in and out, played in reverse with lots of reverberation on it. Now we can go and talk to this tree here. All this movement with the tentacles of the tree, this is cardboard and a work knife that I've been carving around in it. The game here, we released it on the Daddy website. Danish Academy of International Entertainment. The Danish Academy of Digital and Interactive Entertainment. I don't know why I got that. On their website, I put a link in the description, of course. The game was released there, received a little bit of praise for its gameplay and the sound design, luckily for me. Got some praise as well. So now we have gotten a hold of the crystal up here. We can pick it up by touching the tentacle. No. maybe this technical here. And then once we've done that, we can alter time and then put it into the hole over here. Also more synthy stuff. The plan for the overall game in the soundscapes were to have these long pads, soothing and smooth sounds all over the place. We kind of succeeded. Then the point was that when you then change level, the whole atmosphere should change and become different. Let's move on here. And then there's a trigger for end level trigger that plays a random end level sound every time. The whole game was basically a lot of experimenting with randomization and how to make various sounds never the same. So on this level here, we have a big bird, and it's blocking our path to our goal, which is the butterfly. You can alter time, and then you alter the level. All these are noises blended together, usually made out of the material that I had available at the film school where we were doing this back in 2012. That was 2011, I think, when we were working on this, just quickly. So it's a bunch of materials like doors and old film material, film cameras that we could take apart and wreck. So the bird here is blocking us. The bird has a really, really nice sound, I think. It's made out of what's called a piston, a door that opens, a really old rusty door into an old recording studio that they had at the Copenhagen Film School, the Danish Film School, which I recorded hundreds of variations of just to see what I could get with it. The ambient sounds are the same as in the introduction splash screen. Randomized patterns, like one drone that's just running, but then all these sounds on top, whoosh and whoosh and whatever, long reverbs. They're all just variations of a pool of stuff that's just played randomly. So whenever you play this game, it's never the same ambient sound that goes on. Let's go here and pick up the egg of the bird. And like I said, sometimes there is something that could use a little bit of polish in terms of implementation, but that's because we only had a month to do this, and back then I didn't know scripting in C# at all. It's made in Unity, by the way. I don't know what it's called. I don't even know if it's called a piston when it's on a door, but you know, one of those compressor oil things that make sure the door closes automatically. So let's go over here. The butterfly. It's a golf club that's being swung and a newspaper and then just pitched down. When we activate the butterfly to fly away and complete the level, it's like a whole 2 handfuls of old film, like old Kodak film that wasn't being used, and if you fluffed it around like this, it became this glitchy sound. It's really cool. Check it out. So the last level of the game, unfortunately we didn't have time to do more levels. We were planning a couple of more levels, but we scrapped them because we didn't have time, and we had to polish these and submit it to even pass the course that we had. So as you can tell, the ambience has changed, and the general sounds of whenever you change time has changed. That was like the point, that you alter the whole thing so that every level is a unique experience in the same aesthetic style, but different. These are all just synthesized sounds. The character over here that is moving, you can slightly hear some rocks being tweaked and turned. This is the front doorstep of the Danish theater school out in Copenhagen, where I was recording this, and it was windy, so I had a glove as a windshield for my microphone, and it looked really weird when people were walking past me. This guy with a microphone that just looks like a glove, and I'm pointing at some stones that I'm touching. Like, what the f are you looking at? It's so weird. Anyway. When we picked up the yellow stone, there is... This is when you pick it up. The word yellow is actually being said in the background. It's a randomized sound, but yellow is me just saying yellow. And there will be other colored stones that will come in this order as well, where they say the color of the stone. And whenever you drop it again, it plays the same thing. It's a different sound, but the voice saying the color in reverse. That noise in the background, the long one, that's actually my washing machine. I had a contact microphone on a drain pipe in our old apartment in Copenhagen, Vesterbro, where me and my, at that time, girlfriend, now she's my wife, lived before I was held captive, sent help. We had this small apartment. There was this drain pipe out in by the staircase, and I had placed the microphones on that and just left the recorder there overnight because I knew that there was this guy who would constantly wash clothes and other things. And you can hear in the recording whenever he turns it on. I manipulated it a lot, so you can't tell it is a washing machine when you play the game. But now you know. So think of a washing machine whenever you play it. If you play it, that is. I'll put a link in the description so that you can download this and play it. Oh, let's remember to pick up the green stone. It's a bit harsh. That sound is a bit unmixed, but yeah. That's blue. Let's go pick up blue and put it back up here with the other crystals. It's been a while since I played the game, so I don't remember the order of these, but we'll figure it out in a minute. The puzzle combination hidden well under the rocks here. Let's see. There we go. It's the order. We pick up the red one. So red one goes to the top, no, to the bottom left corner. Yellow goes up there. Purple and blue. Green goes here. So we should complete the level now. We completed the game. So that was one game that I did back in during my education, my many years of education, way too long into my actual professional career. But yeah, it had to be done. I mean, I'd like the paper. Anyway, that was RaaSool. I hope you enjoyed the video and that there was some useful information about how to create some of the sounds in here. If you have any questions, please fire away. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to sign up on Patreon if you like. There are all links in the description. Stay cool and see you next time. Bye.